Hi everyone, welcome back. We're now going to talk about how to apply translations and transformations to rational functions. And they basically work the same way, but sometimes because of the way the notation looks a little different, people have difficulty with this. So first thing I'm going to do is change this into graph paper mode, and we're going to graph this. So the first thing we're going to do is the base function here looks mostly like g of x equals 1 over x. So that's the first thing we are going to graph. And so notice that our graph is going to look like this. So this will have 0.11, so this is scale 1. Let's see, 2.5. 2 and 4 would be at 1/4, so right here. And then we get the same kind of points here, and I'll label them in just a second. Draw that in. And then we'll draw in the other points on the other side. So let's see, 3, 4. Then I'll label the points here. So we have -1, -1. We have -2.5. This is -2.5. This point over here was -1/4, -1/4. We have -0.5, -2, and -1/4, -4. So the next thing we want to do is notice that the next kind of thing we do is we're going to take the x and add 4. So our next function here is going to be g of x equals 1 over x plus 4. So that means that we're going to take the x coordinates and subtract them by 4. So when we do that, we're going to get, let's see, a graph that looks like this. And so let me see this. We're going to have, see, here's 1 and 1 again as before. So this point was on the graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're here at the point -3, 1. We'll have the point -2, 1/2, and then we'll have 0.25. And then we'll, on the other side, we'll have, let me see, -7/2, 2, and then moving over another quarter, we will have let me see, 3 and let's see, we have -3 minus 3/4, so that's -15. That's -3.75 the number is I'm looking for. So, and that'll be at 4. And then we get the corresponding points on the other side. And notice that one thing that happens here as well is that the vertical asymptote here got shifted over by 4 as well. So here it was at x equals 0, here we're at x equals -4. So drawing the points on the other side, we will have a point down here at -4, so here's -1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll have this point here, we will have this point here, this point here, that point, that's good enough. So this point here was -5, -1, so this is -4.5, -2, and this is -4.25, -4, and then this will be 6, -6, -1/2. So we draw it in like this, and that's the next step. And then finally we want to then subtract 3. So we're going to take all this graph and subtract 3 from all the y coordinates. So we're going to have now f of x equals 1 over x plus 4 minus 3. So again, we'll have the xy plane, and we'll draw the y a little on the high side this time. And notice that, like in this graph, so notice that when we did a horizontal translation, the horizontal asymptote didn't change. So here's the horizontal asymptote, y equals 0. It didn't change here. Oh, I forgot to draw the graph in here, I'm sorry. So again, our graph looks like this. There we go. And then over here, notice that our graph, our horizontal doesn't change, so we'll have, or our vertical doesn't change, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we'll have our vertical here at x equals -4 as before, but now we're going to shift our horizontal down 3, so 1, 2, 3, and we'll be right here. And then drawing in all the coordinates is simple. We'll just subtract 3 off of everything, so we'll have that point, and that point, and we'll have this point, and that point. So this is -3, -2. So this will be -2, -2.5, and this will be 0, -2.75. And then here we will have -3.5, comma, -1, and then we'll have -3.75, comma, 1 here. And your graph will look like this. Then we get similar points down here. We'll have this point, we will have that point, this point, that point. And so we'll get this part of the graph down here as well. Now let's see, this point would have been -5, -4. So this is -4.5, -5, and this will be -4.25, -8. Then over here we'll have -6, -3.5, and we'll have -8, -3.5, -3.25. So there you have it. So here's one graph. f of x equals 1 over x plus 4 minus 3, and basically all of the transformations are relatively the same. So we'll see you in the next video.